Total Recall, 1990 science fiction film, science fiction action film directed by Paul Verhoeven, based on a short story by Philip K. Dick, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, and Michael Ironside. Nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Sound and Best Effects and Sound Effects Editing. Also won a Special Achievement Award for visual effects. The story follows Quaid, a construction worker from a distant future, played by Arnold. He has a quiet, ordinary life with a loving wife and a stable job, but he keeps experiencing dreams about being on Mars and having adventures. Obsessed, he ends up going to a company called Recall, which offers implanted memories of vacations at various locations. He chooses Mars, obviously, to live through that experience, but before they can implant the memories, it turns out he's already had his memory wiped, and he is actually a secret agent with ties to the Martian resistance. So now he's on the run from the corporate goons trying to kill him, and yeah, the story goes from there. So this is an excellent movie through and through, starting right away with the script, which is tightly written, fun, extremely well paced. I love the way the exposition and the story is gradually revealed as we go along, instead of having a 5-minute expo dump at the beginning, which is something that most modern blockbusters do. This movie starts with the audience and the main character knowing absolutely nothing about what's going on, and then basically each consecutive scene has some small snippet of information revealed either through dialogue or visuals or just the world building. And then there are the various twists and reveals, which are all very well done. Also, one cannot mention the deliberate vagueness of the ending and the possibility of interpreting the film as a dream fantasy. You can absolutely read it either as Quaid really waking up to being the agent, or as him experiencing the malfunctioning fake memory implant at Recall, and both versions work perfectly well. I love the tone of the film. Like usual with Verhoeven, there's a mix of ultra-violence, dark humor, and satire on corporate America and its consumerism. Also, like usual with Verhoeven, the movie has a very grimy, dirty, lived-in feel to it. Things are broken down and old and shitty. Clothes are worn. Nothing is new, which is something that was done widely in the past science fiction movies, Alien, Terminator, Blade Runner, but nowadays it seems like the visions of the future are always spotless, clean, brand new, and I have to say I much prefer this kind of atmosphere. I think Arnold is great in the lead role. He's doing the stuff that he does best, and he has those 2 absolutely fantastic one-liners in this film. One is when his fake wife begs him to let her go, and she says, "I'm your wife," and he shoots her in the head and says, "Consider this a divorce." And then later when he drills through a guy with a giant like industrial drill, and he says, "Screw you." 10 out of 10, no notes, love it. I also read the original drafts of the script, had the main character be different and the tone of the story be different, more serious and grounded. But with Arnold on board, they decided to go into a more goofy direction to play to his strengths, while still retaining the existential/philosophical layer of the film, which I think ended up working brilliantly. Final point, I want to mention the special effects, and in particular the makeup and prosthetics. They all look unbelievably good, and are yet another case for why practical effects, when they're well done, will always age better than CGI. This is exactly what happens here. Overall, great fun with a mindfucky undertone. Loved it.